I want to get to this analysis. The Show Me Institute is out with a brand new analysis of teacher tenure. And since it is the start of the school year, I thought this was pretty well timed. James Schulz is the education policy analyst for the Show Me Institute. James, welcome to KMOX. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on, Mark.
Let's talk about what you guys found out. You interviewed or surveyed who for this particular report?
So we sent out surveys to Missouri public school superintendents and received responses from about 192 superintendents throughout the state.
And what did you discover?
Well, we asked them a variety of questions on teacher tenure. So it started off with, how difficult is it to remove a tenured teacher based on their performance in the classroom? And I want to make that clear. The superintendent said, hey, if a teacher does something bad, we can get that person out of the classroom, something immoral or of that sort. But we're talking about performance. How good are they? And what they said was, it's pretty difficult. About 75% said it's somewhat or very difficult to remove a teacher for their performance in the classroom. So from there, we looked at, what are the reasons for this? And basically what they said is it takes a whole lot of time and a whole lot of effort to get together the paperwork to document to remove these teachers. So it's a pretty cumbersome process that's set in state statute that limits the school leader's power to lead.
Now, I was talking with someone earlier this week about education. I mean, in a lot of jobs, if you're not performing, if you're not meeting certain standards, then you're going to have reviews with your boss, and you might find yourself packing after a little while if you don't have the performance. But this is obviously it's different with teachers, and the unions don't like to talk about the tenure issue. And I don't know what nationally the trend is, but is this done on a state-by-state basis when it comes to laws regarding tenure?
Yes, it is done on a state-by-state basis, and I should say that Missouri's laws are better than some other states. In Missouri, we don't give teachers tenure until after 5 years. In some states, it's 3 or 2 or something along those lines. So that's good. We have a longer probationary period, but it still doesn't change the fact that once the teacher has tenure, and we know, we've all seen this experience, there are some bad teachers who get to that point of having tenure, that it becomes quite difficult to remove those teachers. And so, yes, it is on a state-by-state basis.
How do you reach that level of being tenured?
Right, so basically you teach 5 years. If you teach 5 years, you earn tenure. And so that's it. If you are able to keep your job for 5 years, you have tenure.
And what does that tenure then afford you moving forward?
Well, so the state statute basically says tenure is an indefinite contract. So you then have a permanent contract for the rest of your life unless the district, puts together a massive case to say you are not a good teacher or you decide to leave. So essentially you have a job for life until you do something really dumb, you quit, or they're able to put together a really good case to get you out of the classroom.
Now, it's interesting because you have in your report, you have a chart that shows the steps necessary to remove a tenured teacher in Missouri. You have to identify a low-performing teacher. The superintendent has to furnish a written notice to the teacher warning of the possibility of termination. The teacher is given 30 days to improve. And if the teacher improves, that's a good situation. If the teacher doesn't improve, then they can be placed on leave at this time. Then there's a written notice of a hearing. And if the teacher doesn't request a hearing within 10 days of the notice, there's one step. If they do request a notice, there's another step. And then this list goes on and on.
Right. Right. And at every step of the way, if you don't do it within the allotted amount of time, you're back to square one. And so this is where we talk about time and effort. I mean, the principals really have to stay on this and document every single step to make sure that they're following the law. Or else, the teachers' unions that try to protect the teachers will file a complaint or whatever it is and get these teachers reinstated. And so it can become very difficult and time-consuming to get a teacher out of the classroom.
James Schulz is with the Show Me Institute. He's the education policy analyst. Are there good models out there, James, for tenure reform?
Well, something the superintendent said, I asked them if they would be interested in some type of reform, and about 92% said we'd be in favor of some type of reform. And they gave us some suggestions, and some of the stuff they said was multiple-year contracts. So instead of having an indefinite contract, what if you had a 3 to 5 year contract, or you based it, with a teacher who has great performance in the classroom, they're able to get a long-term contract, because the real goal of tenure is to protect good teachers and to insulate them from some of the political turmoil that can happen in some of these school districts. And so I understand the desire to protect teachers, and I think that some of the superintendent's suggestions of, like I said, multiple year contracts might be a good idea.
What about, one of the things that gets talked about when you talk about these tenure cases, and I think you examine this in the study, is how much it costs the taxpayers, the districts, to move forward with the termination process, because there are a lot of legal fees involved.
Oh, absolutely. So it's really tough to pin down exactly the cost of what does it take to remove a tenured teacher. There was a study done in Illinois that says that it costs $200,000, and New York City says $250,000 to remove a tenured teacher. We don't have exact figures here in Missouri, but I talked to some lawyers who represent the school districts, and it can cost tens and $20,000 or $30,000, depending on how well the case is documented and what the facts are in the case. It can cost anywhere from just a few thousand up to probably hundreds of thousands of dollars, really depending on the case. And so it can become not just difficult in terms of time, but also in terms of money as well.
So what are your hopes with this particular study? By the way, I guess you should toss out there, if someone wants to read the study, is it shelbyinstitute.org?
That's right. You can find it online.
What are your hopes, though, for the next steps? As a result of this study, so you're finding this out, and some of this isn't, I don't think, shocking to a lot of people that superintendents would feel this way, but you do go in depth on some of the numbers. What would be the next step?
All right, so there were two bills in the past legislative session that tried to reform teacher tenure, but they ended up failing because a lot of the opposition claimed, let me say, these two bills coupled tenure reform with a certain type of teacher evaluation. And the argument against these bills was that they're an attack on local control. And I think what I want to get across here is that our current system is not pro-local control. The current system has a lot of control in the state house, and it doesn't give that control to the local superintendent. So hopefully as we move forward, we can figure out some policies that give more control to the local school districts to figure out what works for them, because I don't think we've decided, or I don't think we know what the one best policy is. And so why not put the policy making into the hands of the people who it matters the most to, the local school districts.
All right. If you want a little nighttime reading, or I guess if you're an educator and you want to find out more about this, showmeinstitute.org. James Schulz, I appreciate it. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much.